COVID-19 stocks. Coronavirus continues to dominate the headline, probably will until a vaccine has been found. How can you make money on these stocks? Well, we have a watch list of these stocks that you can monitor daily and stay on top of what's hot and get out of what's not. Keep in mind though, the hot ones can change daily. Certain companies consistently make the news. Which ones should you consider buying? More importantly, how do you manage the trade? Let me shine some light on that for you. The next story today is about coronavirus. Why? Because coronavirus is still the main headline. Have you guys not realized that? Coronavirus, everybody's still rushing for a vaccine. So I want to make sure that you're up on which stocks are moving and which ones were moving or not moving. This is, again, a time where you take profits on the stocks that you can. Some of these stocks move up 30, 40, 50%. In our trading room, the Jockey Club, we made 142% about a month ago on a stock in one day. So there's a lot of potential. These are trading stocks. Don't get me wrong. These are trading stocks. But if you're looking for a coronavirus stock that does have some upside, I'm going to show you how to find that as well. All right, so the first story I have is on Precipio, up big on the launch of COVID-19 blood tests. Now, nano-cap Precipio, which is probably more a lower dollar stock, rockets up on a whopping 61 times surge in volume in reactions to its agreement with the ADS Biotech to distribute its COVID-19 antibody blood test worldwide. So, as we start to get close to a vaccine, we're going to have to be able to build up antibodies to go after the COVID-19. And there's a lot of people who say that COVID-19 is like the flu. Well, it is a flu-based disease or issue. But the coronavirus is a very aggressive deal, number one. Number two, notice that the flu doesn't flare up primarily in the summer months, whereas the coronavirus is still doing so. So there are some differences between the two. One thing, I'm not getting into the politics about this, and I'm not trying to pull sides on who believes what or all that kind of stuff. All I want to do is bring you the news, bring you the facts, all right? Precipio will initially offer the test as a service in its CLIA lab starting in August. People are getting close to putting something out for people. And once that's done, I think that people will be less stressful about what's going on with the COVID-19, with a subsequent rollout to doctor's office as a point of care assay, followed by distribution via retail channels for at-home direct-to-customer use. So here's a company. Now, the thing about Prpo, keep that in mind. This is important stuff. And the stock went up 422%. Now you say, well, man, that already happened. What do I do now? Well, I'm going to show you a listing of stocks on how you can get prepared every day on a daily basis to find what stocks are moving early in the morning. All right. So that's one of my stocks. My favorite stock for this whole pandemic has been Moderna. They beat earnings by 3 cents and they beat on revenue. This is a happening company. Now, it's been pretty tough to stick with Moderna because it's got heavy swings up and down, but it will give you an opportunity from a more aggressive means to make money and do so quickly. So mRNA beats by 3. The revenue, they beat by 42 million. Well, there's a lot of buzz. Moderna has been in the news a lot due to the pandemic. And this is one of the companies that I think, and you need to keep this in mind, this is one of the companies that may be very close to the table to coming out with a vaccine. This is one of 3 companies. This one, Pfizer, Novavax are really good companies for the purposes of being able to come out. And then there's a company in England, Oxford something or other, that is close as well. All right, so from an earnings play, because of all that's going on with Moderna, it beat earnings and revenue. And my other stock is, there it is, Novavax. This was done yesterday. Today's the 6th. Novavax up 17% early stage COVID-19 vaccine data. See, the words are now coming out that they're using the word vaccine because companies are getting closer. Novavax in a significant turnaround. It was up pre-market yesterday, neutralizing antibodies. Again, there's the word, antibody titters. Can I say that? Anyway.
Huh? You're going to need to bleep that out.
You're going to, listen, I'm just reading the words there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all I'm saying. Were induced in all participants, and the safety profile was favorable. Look at that. So they're getting, how about other countries like AstraZeneca, GlaxoSmithKline, Pfizer is what I said. Here's another stock that we've talked about a couple of times, BNTX, Moderna, INO. These are stocks that have come up in these presentations time and time again. So let's do this. So those are the stories. I'm going to get back into the software. Let's go find my coronavirus stocks today from the stories. We have Novavax. We have Moderna. What else did I have? Novavax, Moderna, and Prpo. All right, Prpo. Where's my P? There it is, Prpo. Let's analyze these stocks real quick. Remember, so now out of the coronavirus stocks, which ones would I think about getting into? Novavax, trading at 162. Its value is 218. Stock is clearly trending or trading under its value. That's a good thing. Moderna, 73 at a value of 798. Woo, this stock is definitely over its value. But because the stock is overvalued, that just means that people are willing to pay a premium to own it. It doesn't make it a bad stock. Precipio at 344 with a value of 192. Also overvalued. Now, let's step into what separates our analysis from everybody else's. We have 5 indicators all cast on a scale between 0 and 2. RV, RS, RT, VST, and CI. Let's go through those real quick. RV, relative value. The stock's long-term upside appreciation potential. Upside. Over the next 1 to 3 years, should this stock outperform a AAA corporate bond? At 1.45, it is favorable. I'm telling you that Novavax should outperform that AAA corporate bond by 45% over the next 1 to 3 years. Moderna, RV at 0.37. This is not a long-term play. Precipio at 0.82 on RV. Not a long-term play. All right, relative safety, which is an indicator of risk, also cast on that scale between 0 and 2. At 0.82 on Novavax, this stock is not altogether a safe stock, even though it's got good upside potential. This is a stock that I would buy more as an aggressive trader because I like stocks that have good upside potential, but I'm willing to give up some risk. Moderna with a relative safety at 0.88. Man, this is a risky stock. So, Moderna is overvalued, upside potential, not long-term, not there, and it is a riskier stock. Precipio, overvalued, relative value below 1, relative safety below 1. Keep in mind that Moderna and Precipio are more speculative trades where Novavax is more of an aggressive trade. A little difference in the ideology. The speculator throws all caution to the wind, whereas the aggressive trader is looking for good upside but willing to take some risk. But here's the other side of it. Novavax, RT, short-term price trend, in an uptrend. At 1.70 on that scale between 0 and 2, Novavax is definitely in an uptrend. Moderna at 1.03 on RT, definitely in an uptrend. Not as fast in an uptrend as Novavax and Precipio. Not in an uptrend at all. So why did Precipio make this list? Because it's one of the stocks that have made the news in this space. This is the importance behind having the software to make a decision. If I'm looking at which stock I would like to take out of that list right now from the stories, Novavax would hands down be it. Well, let's analyze it a little bit more. The best combination of value, safety, and timing by way of our VST is Novavax, and Moderna and Precipio further down my list. Upside, the stock's ability to withstand long and lengthy price declines, that's the comfort index. above 1, these stocks are more resilient to a down pull or a down. Now, understand, because Moderna has been in the news, this stock tends to go up more than it goes down, but it is grossly overvalued. The upside potential is not there. It is not a safe stock, and it is in an uptrend, but because of the news pushing it, the stock tends to go up more than goes down. All right, let's take a look at all three of these graphs, though, to add to my ability to make a better decision. Novavax, 3-month graph. Look at that. On my graphs, I'm using a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. I'm also using that short-term price trend of RT. And at the bottom, what did I say about volume, Joey?
It's conviction.
You didn't say it with conviction. Say it with conviction, Joey.
Volume is conviction.
You're horrible at this. All right, say it like this. Volume is conviction. Say that, Joey.
Volume is conviction.
You're still horrible at it. Anyway.
Come on, that was great.
That was okay.
I'm coming after you.
All right, bring it on. Bring it on, baby.
I'm gonna do all this.
Novavax. Up, it's nice but surely, but going up, down day to day. So now, let's talk about that. Let's say I'm in Novavax. The stock is down today. What keeps me in the stock? Your stops. If your stock hasn't hit the stops yet, leave it alone. Another thing, from a visual perspective, with these 3 and 8 exponential moving averages on an end-of-day basis, why not wait for the 3 to go below the 8? Give the stock some room. A lot of times we get out of stocks too early because we don't give them enough room to move to the downside. Now, I'm not telling you to take a big loss. Don't want to do that. Maybe you set a max floor for the loss. Maybe you say, I don't want to lose any more than 10% on the stock. That's your floor. You never lose more than 10% then, all right? But use your stops to manage the trades. RT is still above 1, but pulling back a little bit. The stock might be stalling out. So if I'm up and I've made some money, don't be afraid to may possibly take half off the table and let the other half run, all right? My next stock that's in here is Moderna. Again, I love this stock personally, but right now, as I said, it's been a tough stock to stay long in. It is pulling back down. RT is getting close to going below 1. Once that happens, Moderna will be in a downtrend, and absolutely, by that time, if you're still in it, all bets should be off the table because the stock's in a downtrend. And the last one, which is Prpo, Precipio, man, this stock is just having a hard time getting out of its own way. A big move on 7:30 where the stock's price went from $1.37 to $7 in one day with a high of $8 that day. That's a big move. What do you think is happening? I think I'm getting a little bit of profit taking from this level where the stock was before it went up. A lot of volume. And right now, currently, Prpo has got an RT below 1. If I'm thinking about getting into this, probably not. All right, let's take this one step further. We do have a coronavirus watch list. So you have this, everybody in the software has this watch list. If you have the VectorVest software, you have this watch list. I've created my own where I've been able to add more stocks to it to make it more conducive to what I'm looking for. If I'm a long-term investor in coronavirus stocks, let's sort this list of 44 coronavirus stocks by RV. What's the big, VRTX, best upside potential, Regeneron, Codex, ABBV. These are the stocks that I would feel a lot more comfortable in this space holding long term. But wait a minute. What if I'm looking for the best combination of all three? Then you go down the list and you find a stock like Lakeland, where it's got an RV above 1, RS above 1, RT above 1, VST above 1, buy recommended, 24% earnings growth. Let's take a look at that stock. View the stock graph. This is what you're looking for to help you to find those stocks. Now, how about this stock has gone down 2 days in a row? Look at that 3 and 8 though. The 3 and the 8 still haven't crossed. RT still above 1. And on this graph, I've got a couple of things from a technical standpoint that can help me capture profits. How about this day, 8-4, we have a candlestick pattern known as a shooting star, which could be a bearish reversal, and we had follow through yesterday. Would that have been a good opportunity to take at least half off the table with that bearish candlestick pattern and follow through? Answer to that is yes. So use your stops. Use your stops to help you to get out of the stock. Use your graphs, whatever you need to help you. But this coronavirus list is ideally suited to help What if I'm more of an aggressive trader? Sort the list by RT. Let's find which ones are moving up the fastest. Folks, we have this list for you in the software every day. And if you're a trader or a longer-term investor, you can find some of the best coronavirus stocks to get into. All right, let me go back to my watch list for today. And Joey, I'm going to ask, hold on, do I have any questions on that story?
NVAX bull put credit spread or bull call debit spread?
All right. So the question is on Novavax, do I want to put a credit or a debit spread? The first thing I need to know is the option premium under or overvalued? All right. If the option premium is overvalued, I'm going to put on a credit spread. If the option premium is undervalued, I'm going to put on a debit spread. All right. The difference between the premium being under and overvalued means if it's overvalued, I'm going to receive a lot more for selling the spread. But if it's undervalued, I'm going to spend a lot less for putting on the debit spread. So I need to know that. We've got a tool in the software called the Options Pro, which is an add-on module that can help you to determine that, or whatever tools that you have to determine whether an option premium is under or overvalued. That's what makes my decision on whether I'm going to put on a credit or a debit spread. Any other questions, Joey? Why are you so slow at this? Okay. Everybody, Joey just told me to shut up. That's not a nice thing to do. Everybody, you know what you should... There you go. That's for telling me to shut up. Okay.
Is there a way to put them on a performance graph against the industry composite?
The question is there a way to put these stocks on an industry graph compared to... What is it compared to?
On a way to put them on a performance graph against the industry composite.
Yeah, I can do that, but I need to know what all of the stocks are. So let's do this.
So those three stocks that we were doing.
Let's go look at Novavax. Let's go look at MRNA and Prpo. If I right-click, I can go to view a stock graph. Once I've done that, because I've got them all in there, I can change from a stock graph to a performance graph. And it's only putting NVAX up against its industry. So I can see NVAX, which is this right here. And I'm going to put this on a 3-month graph. Here's NVAX in this color, because I can tell by the legend over here. Compared to its industry, it's way outperforming its industry. Now, let's move this over here for a second. Let's go back up to the coronavirus stocks. I would need to now add more of these stocks to the list. So notice that on my performance graph, I can now add more stocks. So I'm going to do that. I need to see what the stocks are. Actually, I could do it this way. Let's push this down a little bit. So what other stocks do I see? SRNE, comma. NVAX is already up there. Yep. LAKE, comma, REGN, comma, CODX, comma, VRTX, one more, comma, CNC. All right, so I've added them all to my performance graph, right? Looking back 3 months. Simply, I click check the boxes for them. So there's SRNE, that green line, Lakeland, underperforming SRNE, REGN, down here with the industry, Codex. Look at that, folks, VRTX and CNC. I can clearly see just by looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those stocks compared to its industry, which is that red line all the way down here, which stocks are outperforming. That's another great way. And Novavax is definitely a big one outperforming, followed by, if you want another good one, SRNE. So that's a great question. And yes, if I wanted to spend the time to put all of the stocks in there, I could clearly see who the clear winner would be. So that's who asked that question, Joey?
Jay.
Jay? That's a beautiful question, and that's a great way to look at which stocks in the industry are doing the best. Absolutely.